All right, it looks like I was planning on doing 5 questions, but it takes me 10 or 15 minutes to answer one question, so I'll just do one question at a time. How about that? I'll just take one question and break it down, and however long it takes is however long it takes, and I'll just post these at separate time. Um, somebody asked me at at Evansville show the other night. They said they asked me how my shoulder was doing and when will I come back. The shoulder, of course, everybody knows I dislocated it for the third time in my career, and I had to forfeit the UCW Heavyweight Championship, which broke my heart. But really, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because it gave me time to clean up. During my interview, I kind of aired some dirty laundry that I've never really talked to you guys about, and like I said, I've always been an open book in front of you, and I basically admitted that I wrestled with a hurt shoulder for a while, and I was masking the pain with various painkillers and other drugs. I'll go ahead and say it that I'm not proud of, but like I said, it's something that happened, and it's you know having this time off is really a blessing in disguise because it gave me a chance to clean up, as far as the drugs go, and I can safely say right now I'm healthy, and I got the help that I needed, and I found myself. I realized who Lincoln Mosley is, and the Lincoln Mosley that was hooked on drugs was not me. The Lincoln Mosley, the real Lincoln Mosley is me being passionate and about the business, about the professional wrestling business, and the real Lincoln Mosley loves his family, his friends, and he loves his fans. And I was on a fast track to being another statistic in the pro wrestling death poll. And if I didn't slow down, um, I was gonna be another. I was gonna be another one that you. I was gonna be another wrestler that you would read about on the internet. Another wrestler dies at you know 23, 26, 30, 35, whatever it could have been from a heart attack because of drug abuse. And I realized that, and it's it's something that I didn't want to do because I thought about how much um, I, I love my family and I love my friends, and they have uh, they have always been there for me. Um, my mother and father and my grandparents, my aunt and uncles, my cousins, and my friends. Um, Mostly um, Scott Sexton and Chad Stallings and Dave Lanham, Brian McCormick, and a couple others who I won't mention the names, but I was on a fast track. I was on a fast track to death, and I didn't want to be another statistic that the fans wake up one morning and read on the internet that Lincoln Mainstream Mosley has passed away due to a heart attack or a drug overdose. And I didn't want to continue living that lifestyle because I've seen too many of my friends and too many wrestlers in the business have their lives ended early, way earlier than they should have, because they didn't get the help that they needed. They abused drugs, and they didn't. They thought they were invincible, just like I thought I was invincible. Oh, nothing. It's the whole. The whole it's not going to happen to me, I'm invincible, I'm a wrestler, I'm tough, I can do anything, I can take as many pills as I want to, and I'm invincible, nothing will ever happen to me. That's what everybody thinks until it happens to you. And I didn't want that to happen to me. I didn't want to put that burden on my friends and family. I didn't want them saying, what if what what if there was something we could have done? Why didn't he come to us? And I didn't want them to feel guilty for not stepping in and and um, helping me. I didn't want them to live with that for the rest of their life. So I stopped. So I got help that I needed because and another reason is because I wanna live a long, healthy life, and I want to have a long, healthy wrestling career. And I, believe it or not, you know, as much as they knock these guys like Hogan, Flair, and Sting, and Taker, I want to be wrestling when I'm in my late 40s. I want to be wrestling when I'm in my 50s because I love this business so much. And if something happens where I get injured and I can't wrestle, I still want to be involved in this business because this has been my life for years. For basically my whole life. It has been my life, and it's all I've ever wanted to do. So if I didn't clean up and I didn't get the help that I needed, I probably wouldn't have had, you know, my life would have been cut in half or more than half because I wouldn't. I mean, guys, I was pretty bad. I mean, like I said, I was on the way to be another statistic, and I didn't want that to happen. So, you know, uh, don't really want to make this too emotional because the question was about my shoulder, and I went off on a rant about getting clean. But somebody asked me how my shoulder was doing, and the doctor originally told me when I got the MRI, I would, I was this close from having to get surgery, and if I wouldn't have went in and got it looked at when I did, I would have had to have went under the knife and had to have surgery, but luckily, um, I went at the right time, and the doctor said, you know, you don't have to have surgery, but we want you to go to therapy. Want you to go to rehab that shoulder. And I said, I asked the doc straight up. I said, Doc, I said, when can I come back to wrestling? When will I be able to wrestle again? He said, right now we're looking at 4 to 6 months, and I've been going to rehab for weeks now, and my therapist, I asked him, I said, the doctor told me I would be out of the ring for 4 to 6 months. I'm going to ask you, how long will I be out? And he said, well, Lincoln, the way you're progressing with your therapy, the way your shoulder is progressing, when you came in here, you were already ahead of most of the people that I see because you're already in shape, you already have the background, and the way you're progressing, you could be back in 4 to 6 weeks, which is a month, 2 months. And I was ecstatic. I don't, knock on wood, I can be back in that time, but I don't want to rush it because that's what happened the first 2 times. I dislocated twice. I was back in the ring. The first time I was back in the ring the next week. The second time I was back in the ring the next month. I've never sat down and let my shoulder actually heal because I'm just so anxious to get into the ring because I love it so much. I'm so passionate about it. So I just, if I'm not in the ring wrestling, I start losing it. But this time, everything, I've never really believed in the whole everything happens for a reason thing, but I really think this happened for a reason. I dislocated my shoulder for a third time when I was going through my drug addiction. I had a seizure and passed out, and when I fell, I landed on my shoulder wrong and dislocated it for a third time, and it's given me an opportunity to actually with getting drug rehab, getting clean, and having shoulder rehab. It's given me time to actually let my shoulder heal, and that's something I haven't done the previous 2 times I've dislocated. So this time I'm gonna wait as long as it takes until the doctor or the therapist says, okay, your shoulder's fine. If it's just 90%, I'm going for it. If it's 80%, I'll go for it. But when they say you're cleared to wrestle, I'll be back in the ring the next day because I love it so much. So that was a question about my shoulder. I got off on the drugs, literally. No, but I got on a tangent about the drugs, and I think I answered the shoulder question. So hopefully a few months you'll see Mainstream Mosley back in the ring. But I mean, you come to shows that I'm at. I'll tell you what shows I'll be at. I'll be hanging out, taking pictures and signing autographs with all my fans because I've said it a million times. I love you fans, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. And come out and see me. Come out and talk to me and ask me questions so I can put it on YouTube and get pictures and I'll sign I'll sign autographs until they kick me out of the building. And if they kick me out of the building, we'll sign autographs out in the parking lot. I don't care because I will sit there and sign every autograph until every fan is getting an autograph or a picture because I love you guys that much. So hopefully you'll see me actually compete in a couple of months, but I will be around managing the Uprising in UCW. I'll be going to various other shows, hanging out and seeing my friends and meeting and greeting them with the fans. So that's that question. So we'll keep it rocking and rolling here.